I'm not going to lie, folks. I am very scared about next year's Super Bowl, and you should be too. Welcome, everybody, to JG9 News, where we talk all things NFL all the time. I'm Jared Gary, and I representing the 904 from the 602, and today we are talking about Super Bowl 59 taking place down in New Orleans, the first Super Bowl held there since Super Bowl 47 between the Baltimore Ravens and the San Francisco 49ers. Now, the Superdome is getting the Super Bowl after a massive renovation is being done to the building. But recent reports and updates leave me very skeptical that this might be done in time. Now, keep in mind that the NFL put in a rule back in the 70s that said that every stadium needs to be operational for at least one full year before they can host a Super Bowl. The reason why, coincidentally, had to do with New Orleans. Long story short, Super Bowl IX was supposed to be held in the Superdome. The Saints were supposed to play in the Superdome during the 1974 season, moving out of Tulane Stadium. That was supposed to be the first year that the Superdome was operational. However, delays with that venue meant that the game had to be played at the rundown, very outdated, soon-to-be-demolished Tulane Stadium, and it was a complete disaster. So ever since then, there has been a rule in place saying that a stadium needs to be operational for one full year before it can host the big game. It's the reason why you see a lot of these venues like Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Cowboys Stadium, they were not doing it in the very first year. There's a reason for that, because the NFL likes to keep things safe just in case there's any delays or anything along those lines. However, oddly enough, we've got another issue taking place with the Superdome, because there was a recent report that came out about how the final phase of construction is going with these renovations that have been a multi-year project. And folks, I am not too optimistic that everything is going according to plan.
This is the fourth year of a nearly $500 million construction project to revamp the interior of the Superdome. Concourses on the east side plaza were widened last year. Now the focus is on the west side. That means construction should be finished in time for the upcoming Saints season and the 2025 Super Bowl, which New Orleans is preparing to host.
All right, so it should be finished in July? There is a major difference between will and should. Words matter. Words have meaning. The choices in words that we use makes a big difference. If I say that something will happen, it means I'm 100% certain. If I say that something should happen, I am not 100% certain. So with this report, you've got guys confirming that the Superdome might not be 100% ready by the time that the season starts and by the time Super Bowl 59 is played. Again, this is the final phase of construction. It's a massive project. They're widening the plaza. There's going to be a new atrium added. There's going to be standing room only platforms. But here's the thing that's concerning. The renovations were projected to be $450 million. Now, they have ballooned to $535 million. And here is what one worker said about what exactly is happening with the Superdome and why the price has raised so much. Take a listen.
The dome renovations were originally projected to cost $450 million, but the price escalated to $535 million.
The supply of goods has been very challenging, labor, costs of materials, and we have not had the luxury to go, well, we'll just wait a couple of years and the prices stabilize. Our window is our window.
All right, so first off, congrats on losing all your leverage. You just admitted to every company that might have materials that you need to finish this project, any workers that you need to work on the project. Yeah, we kind of need you. If we don't have you, we're completely screwed. So congratulations, you just completely butchered everything on the negotiating table. But what this is saying to me is that if one material skyrockets in price, because you're already $85 million over budget, one material becomes unavailable, one material is in scarce demand, you are completely and utterly screwed. There's no other way to say it. You're completely and utterly screwed. It is going to take at least 5 more months to finish this project and have it ready in time. And this is a project that has already had quite a few delays. We saw an installation delay take place earlier with this project. Here is a report that said about the installation. For the installators working on this project, it is a race to beat the clock to get their portion of the work finished. As such, they have worked weekends and plenty of overtime hours. At times, installators work 12-hour shifts. The project has faced its fair share of challenges which contributed to the long shifts and overtime. This included delays due to equipment supply problems. We also had an issue at the Florida State LSU game that took place at the Superdome a few years ago. They were doing construction there on the entrance, and because the entrance area wasn't done in time, there were massive delays outside of the gate, making it a pain in the butt to get inside the stadium, according to reports. So what I'm getting at with this report is that not just with the materials, if you get a worker strike, if you get anything along those lines, so you already see with the installation incident that caused delays, if these people working on the project feel that they're working too many hours, that they're not getting enough money, that they're being overworked, the conditions are not that good, you get one measly delay, and this is completely screwed. It's not like this can be done in 3 weeks. This is supposed to be done in July with a should be finished after being $85 million over budget. I am actually kind of surprised the NFL didn't swap Santa Clara with New Orleans. Why not just have Super Bowl 60 take place in New Orleans and Super Bowl 59 take place at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, since there isn't anything going on right now? You've got this massive renovation project that should be done. It should be done. This might be a non-issue. This might be a complete non-story, but it is not done right now. It is no guarantee to be done, and history shows, based on the budget going over and based on the delays that have already happened, that this might not go according to plan, and the NFL might be completely screwed, coincidentally, like they were half a century ago when the game took place in New Orleans and the stadium wasn't done in time. Again, there's plenty of time. It's going to be done in July according to the optimistic side, but we will see about that. The thing that concerns me, the adding standing room only platforms, I hope to God they test those out. Otherwise, we might get a Super Bowl 45 situation where it will be completely unsafe and they sell tickets that do not exist. We will see about that. That concerns me. A lot of this right now concerns me with the Superdome. Hopefully everything goes well, but again, based on history, I'm not exactly the most optimistic. I'm holding my breath just a little bit. I think the NFL might be too after these latest reports came out about how the renovation was going this past weekend. But what are your thoughts? Do you think the Superdome deserves to host a Super Bowl again? Do you think New Orleans is a good Super Bowl city? What are your thoughts on the venue as a whole? Where do you think the Super Bowl should be held next? Do you think they should have moved Super Bowl 59 to San Francisco and Super Bowl 60 to New Orleans, make that swap like they did with Tampa and Los Angeles between Super Bowl 55 and 56 due to the SoFi Stadium construction delays? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And that's going to do it for this episode of JJ9 News. Be sure you like and subscribe. It helps the channel out a lot. And be sure to check out my main channel, Jaguar9, where we talk all things NFL history all the time. Until next time, this is Jaguar9 signing off. And as always, go Jags.